Hello, good morning. I'm happy to see you again today. And today I'm going to talk about language, communication, culture, and power relation. This is our second subject in intercultural communication course. Now we start with the points that we are discussing today. I will talk about 4 issues. The first is language and intercultural communication. The second point is communication style. The third is culture and communication. Thing is power and context. So let's start with the first. About intercultural domains, okay? So every individual has national culture. Like we are Indonesian, we have Indonesian culture. And then in Indonesia, we also belong to social groups. If you look at the picture, they are the groups of young people. Maybe they are students. And a group of students could be one social group, could be a cultural group, could be intercultural domains because they are coming from more than one cultures. Next, the third thing is about ethnic groups. Ethnic means similarities in culture, in habits. So I give you example about, let's see, American people, United States citizens. They are coming from different ethnic groups. They are, some of them are Europeans or white, that the color of skin, or white people, and some others are yellow, maybe Mongoloid or Indo-China ethnic. So we call it maybe Chinese American or European American. So this is ethnic group. Or maybe African Americans, like former President Barack Obama. And then genders, men and women, male and female. And this age or generational groups, like young people, or maybe they have a certain habits and culture. Now, why we need to know the theory and practice of intercultural communication? Because the reality is, according to the data from UNESCO, that in the world there are 6,700 languages in the world. 6,700 languages in the world. 156 countries. Especially for Indonesia. Indonesia also very rich of languages and ethnic groups. About 718 languages, local languages, and then 1,340 ethnic groups in Indonesia, and all communication between people is intercultural. So every day we are actually communicating with people coming from different cultural backgrounds. Every day we are practicing intercultural communication. And because there are so many cultures in the world, and also in Indonesia, so different types of cultures also shape communication style. So I give you again, Javanese culture also influence Javanese people in communicating, even when they are communicating with person coming from different cultures. What about communication styles? What is your communication style? Actually, your communication style is influenced by your culture. Let's see the example at the picture. This is from Mahabharata Indian movie. This is Bhisma. Bhisma is a priest, is a Brahma caste, is in the level of highest kasta in India. And in the movie, Bhisma says, cut my neck, but not my tongue. It means that you may kill me, but please not cut my words. Please not interrupt my sentence. So what does it mean? It means that in Indian culture, or maybe Sri Lanka, Pakistan, or Bangladesh, there is a culture that it is impolite to somebody else's expression, somebody else's sentence. So this is a politeness in communication. It's quite different from European or maybe American or Latin American or Italian culture, that a conversation is not interesting without interrupting. The communication style is things that is considered impolite for some cultures, like asking about marital status or age or maybe number of children. This is quite common in Indonesian culture. As a Javanese person, that meet somebody, maybe, and then he or she asks me, how old are you? Or are you married? Or how many children do you have? But in some culture, this is impolite, or asking about personal matters is maybe not acceptable culturally. And also expressing agreement or disagreement. In Beyond Language, written by Levine, the book says that in Japanese culture there are 16 expressions to say no. Sometimes they use maybe not now as the replacement of saying no. Why there are so many expressions in expressing disagreement? Because in that culture, in Japanese culture, maybe it is impolite to express the disagreement. My friends from Australia told me that Indonesian people are difficult to say no. Indonesian people are maybe feel to make somebody else disappoint when we are refusing saying no. Next is about culture and communication. And culture influences the way of communicating, the way they are communicating. If we look at the picture, somebody may be from Japan and somebody may be from Europe or America. They try to adjust the culture, but what happened when the man in the right side use the Japanese handshake, but how to say hello culture, and then Japanese greet. The Japanese man tried to use shake hands like in European American culture. This is the way in adjusting intercultural communication. A culture also provides knowledge about how to behave in different situations. So when you are studying culture, you will know how to behave, how is accepted in that culture, especially in communication. Using words or sentences and non-verbal communication using gestures or body language. And culture also shape your interpretation about somebody else's behavior. Maybe like this one is impolite in Japanese culture, but it is okay. So maybe the intercultural community interpret that is impolite or challenging you to fight. Now, next we are talking about power in context. Power means when there is someone or somebody have authority to make you speaking or just being silent. And then the power relation, the person you are communicating with will influence your linguistic choice or choice of be example of when you are speaking with old people is different. Influenced by non-linguistic society, including your relationship between the person that you are talking to. The power relation is the to your lecturer. It will be different. Your choice of words will be different from when you are talking to your friends. So power relation influences language and communication behavior. So what? So in intercultural communication, you also have to look at the power relation between you, the person. When you are the same level of age, of same culture, or maybe the same power relation, it's okay to use your own language. It's okay to use maybe informal language. Now, that's my explanation about communication, language, and power relation. So my conclusion is language, communication, culture, and power are interrelated each other. So when you are talking with people coming from different cultural background, you have to know the culture of partner, the culture of the person you are communicating with, and your power relation with him or her. That's all from me. Thank you very much. Good morning. See you next time. Bye-bye.